Newark Castle might look peaceful now, but it's witnessed centuries of chaos, royal intrigue, treasure lost to the marshes and brutal sieges.
This is the site of King John's final days and a royal fortress that held out during one of the bloodiest conflicts in English history, the Civil War. The castle was built in the 12th century by Bishop Alexander of Lincoln, known as Alexander the Magnificent. It wasn't just a fortress, it was a statement of power and wealth and ecclesiastical authority. But the castle's real place in history came in 1216 with the death of King John, one of England's most infamous rulers, but most famously, the villain in Robin Hood.
By 1216, King John was in real trouble. Rebel barons had invited Prince Louis of France to invade, and John was racing to shore up control of the east of England.
John had set out from Bishop's Lynn on his way to Swineshead Abbey, but he decided to send his baggage train on a more direct route across the Wash, which was passable by foot when the tide was low. Only the tide rushed in, and the sea swept away John's money and his crown jewels.
By the time John reached Newark, he was gravely ill, and he died here at the castle, probably of dysentery, but there were rumours that he'd been murdered. Over 800 years later, there's still no sign of the jewels, but rumours spread that part of the treasure was recovered and hidden here at Newark Castle.
Fast forward 400 years to the 17th century and Newark is at the heart of a national turmoil, the English Civil War.
Newark was a royalist stronghold. Its strategic location made it a vital strong point for King Charles, which meant one thing: conflict was inevitable.
In 1643, the first siege of Newark began. Parliamentarian forces surrounded the town, hoping to starve out the defenders. But they underestimated the Royalists and their clever use of the surrounding rivers to bring in supplies.
This is what I've come to see at Newark Castle, with its history and bombardment during the English Civil War. The scars, musket ball shot, cannon shot, it's all plain and clear to see. For any visitors, this is crazy, the amount of battering that the castle's at. Musket ball shot, musket ball shot, musket ball shot. It's absolutely taken a hammering from that side of the river. Against all the odds, Newark held out. Over the next 3 years, the town would endure 2 more sieges, each more desperate than the last. The parliamentarians attacked the town 3 times. The third siege, in 1645, was the most devastating. Over 16,000 troops sealed off the town and dammed the river to stop the town producing flour and gunpowder. There was an outbreak of typhus and plague. 1 in 6 buildings were destroyed and a third of the town's inhabitants died.
One of the most extraordinary measures that they took in the town was to start minting their own coins, because they still had to pay the soldiers' wages and they still had to keep their economy going.
These coins were known as siege pieces. They weren't finely crafted, just rough, hand-struck silver stamped with OBS, which stood for obsidianal, meaning made during a siege.
But determination could only go so far, and by early 1646 Newark was on the brink of collapse. Starvation and disease had ravaged the town, and after months of suffering, King Charles sent word to the defenders: surrender. While the castle may have been partly demolished after the siege, something remarkable had survived. This, the Queen's Sconce. It was built by Royalist forces to defend the southern approach to the town, and standing here you can really see how it dominated the landscape. On On top of the earthworks would have been a wooden fort with platforms for cannons. The star-shaped design gave the defenders overlapping fields of fire, which was ideal for fending off assaults.
While Parliament had planned to demolish the Queen's Sconce, it never happened as the soldiers fled to avoid the threat of plague.
And because of that, the earthworks, the ditches and the bastions are still visible today, making it one of the best preserved Civil War sites in the country.